Greetings and welcome to ValoU. I'm Zaladrith and I'll be your instructor for today. Today's class is Macro 351, Strong Side, Weak Side. If attackers spread out to apply pressure perfectly equally across the entire map, the defenders would naturally have defender's advantage and maybe even numbers advantage in any skirmish that starts. If attackers were to only take fights where they have an advantage against a typical static defense, no one would move and the clock would just eventually run out. With the attackers applying asymmetric pressure with numbers, defenders are forced to react in the form of rotations and spending utility on the higher pressure side, turning that part of the map into the strong side or more heavily contested side. After all, if defenders don't react at all, then attackers can easily just push in with numbers advantage 5v1 or 5v2. If defenders overreact with rotations, this opens them up to allowing attackers lurking on weak side to sneak through. If they overreact with util, attackers can reset and defenders will be lacking more util for the actual execute. Thus, typically strong side attackers have numbers advantage, can full run and use utility while taking space during the defaults phase, and only want to be underestimated for the actual execute. The attacker's weak side is managed by the lurker, using game sense to decide how to adapt and remain unpredictable each round. Their options include completely leaving weak side unguarded and joining strong side, silently guarding map control with defender's advantage, applying pressure by making noise, or even going aggressive and taking territory. In general though, weak side is usually silent, as making any noise or using any utility would give away the lurker's position, making most of a lurker's options invalid. This is because the more info that defenders have, the better they can react and match attacker strategies. In general, the simplest defense tries to send equal or more defenders to each location attackers try to take, countering attackers' numbers advantage while still retaining defenders' advantage, and not letting any attackers sneak through any gaps in map control. At the start of the round, you can stack defenders as well to create a defender strong side, which you can then try to bait enemies to attack and then surprise them with superior numbers. Whereas defense weak side, you're more likely to either spend more info or stalling utility to buy time for rotations, or resolve to fall back and play retake if rotations can't make it in time. Weak side defenders are often called anchors if they hold site while everyone else rotates to respond to attacker pressure, or they can be considered counter lurkers or flankers if they play more aggressively into the attacker side of the map. The way that attackers move their strong side around forces defenders to attempt to match pressure with asymmetric and delayed information, which creates opportunities for mistakes over or underestimating attacker aggression. In this example, we get the defenders to waste util overestimating our strong side aggression that we weren't actually committing to, and we even get a lucky kill. More importantly, they underestimate our weak side aggression, giving up map control for cheap while we convert it into valuable territory that they later have to pay 2 lives to get back. In this fracture example, by sneaking strong side to drop and jump spotting A main loudly, attackers force a numbers advantage skirmish and defensive util to be wasted as defenders overestimate strong side aggression for an execute attempt. By moving strong side around to arcade, we then keep forcing these advantage fights while the lurker protects against weak side aggression with defender's advantage. Another strong side hit at A rope eventually forces the rotating defenders to underestimate weak side at arcade, allowing our lurker to silently take territory. Rotating strong side around makes it difficult for a passive defense to match rotations unless they win disadvantaged fights or make great predictive reads. In summary, strong side and weak side for attackers is about applying pressure unevenly to force defenders to react, creating opportunities for defenders to make mistakes during the defaults phase. Attacker strong side typically has greater numbers, makes more noise, and tries to take space aggressively. Attacker weak side typically has fewer or even no numbers and is managed by the lurker who has to adapt to how enemies will play each round. Defenders can stack to gamble on their own strong side and weak side, and rotating attacker's strong side around forces defenders to match pressure, opening up chances to make mistakes by over and underestimating aggression. That's all for today's lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the lecturer or the TAs in the comments below. Thanks for attending, and we hope you enjoy your stay here at ValoU.